you and your bone spurs.
Hey, happy Monday. Oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. Oh, I fucking hate that. Welcome to the Rumble Live lineup, where you get top streaming shows like myself. Good night, everybody. Shows like Louder with Crowder at 11, Russell Brand, Tim Pool, all the heavy hitters that you want to hear from about what's going on in the world and get entertained at the same time. If you want to see all of the shows commercial free and get extra content, you can sign up for Rumble Premium. And don't forget, you can download the Rumble app. And yum, yum, yum. It's a great deal. Today I'm going to be talking about, I don't know, just everything from, we got a clip of Comey, the former FBI director who apparently is in love with Taylor Swift's music and everything she stands for. We got footage of the idiots out in Los Angeles, West Coast, stupid, interfering, doxing ICE people, then getting arrested on top of it. And the Vikings, they introduced their two gay fella cheerleaders, and it's just fun to watch. And for you people who go, what's it matter? Shut the fuck up, it matters a lot. I'll tell you why in a few minutes. And we got a black woman that beat the shit out of a little white kid, but you have to come to shows like here to hear about it. Anyways, good to be with you. Weekend, how was your weekend? What did I can't even remember. Again, I know I did something. I think I left the house. You know what I did? I ordered the UFC fight, Chimaev versus, you know who, Duplessis, and the big fight. And I was watching other stuff Saturday night, and I said, you know what, I watched a lot of the prelims, and I was going jumping back and forth between baseball and shit, like the fucking waste I am. And by it was like 1:15. I go, I'm going to save the big fight for tomorrow. That's the beauty of it. You can watch it anytime. And so I get up the next day, and I'm clicking, and I see, the Massachusetts team, Little League team, is still in the World Series, Little League World. So I start to watch that, and once again, the crawl at the bottom of the TV screen, which just repeats itself over, and I don't understand that if I could change anything in the world. I see Chimaev, crowned new champion. Well, there's $80 in the shitter. Just found out who won the big fight before watching it. So I went and watched all the undercard fights, and they were good. Do you guys, I don't know if you follow UFC, do you know what a spinning back elbow is? When they face and then, within seconds, they do a 360 and catch with the elbow. They've had 9 knockouts in the history of the UFC, which has been around for 30 years, I think, going way back. And they've only had 9 of those flying elbows knock people out in the 30 years. The other night, 2 fights in a row. This is why people pack the place. They come to see that. That's like seeing a grand slam or even better, a triple play. They had 2 of them in a row. It is the most brutal sport there is, and that was worth the money. So I know I did that. I watched the Red Sox. They took the first 2 from Miami, which they should. And then yesterday, they're up 3-2 the whole game. It's just like, this is a matter of time. Goes into the 9th inning. I think they got the first 2 guys out. I might be wrong for the Marlins. I think the Marlins are down to the last out. Anyways, the things I've been bitching about as far as treating baseball players like pussies and relief pitchers and all that shit, they used Chapman, our closer, who is 6'4", about 260 of muscle, in the best shape of his life. That's all they talk about all season. He's pitching better than ever, blah, blah, blah. But he threw a third of an inning yesterday. So let's not bring him in. Let's bring in another guy who comes in and doesn't do and they bring in another guy to replace him. They end up losing. They end up losing a game that they had in the fucking bag. Really? A pro athlete, and he's all muscle. Ever see Chapman? He's in tremendous shape. He lifts, they say, lives in a weight room, throws 101 miles an hour. But he threw, maybe, 10, 15 pitches the day before. You want me to believe. And again, now, people who follow baseball for that, you're probably going, well, you have to do that because they don't. No, you've bought into the horse shit. You bought into the horse shit. They used to bring relievers in for 4 innings, for Christ's sake. It is ridiculous. It cost them the fucking game. Anyhow, and the goddamn Blue Jays never lose, and the Milwaukee Brewers won their 14th in a row. What in God's name? I feel happy for towns like Milwaukee when something they need, In the 80s, they had a scary team with Gorman Thomas. I forget what the Brew Crew they called them. They were frightening. All right, let's get to it. Enough of boring you people. Learn the language, you friggin' No, learn the language, lady. This is a clip. I didn't give you any text, did I? Really, for this. This is out in L.A., and ICE is doing their job over the weekend. And this woman, who apparently is illegal herself, was she's organizing people to interfere with ICE arresting people. She's been doxing the ICE agents and shit, and doing everything she can and she's illegal herself. Well, guess what? She stepped in it yesterday, and just her screaming in Spanish just makes my blood boil. Anyways, here's a clip of that. I just had to show you. Don't you love it? They're out there busting heads. Why are you screaming? And then here come the other idiots.
Espérate, no, güey. No, espérate. Espérate,
wait,
me voy a
wait,
dejar,
wait.
pero espérate.
Espérate,
me voy a dejar, pero espérate. Me voy a dejar, pero espérate.
Pause. I've noticed this about far left people. They just keep repeating the same thing over and over again. Even like this white Karen, I had a clip of her. I'm like, I'm not even going to fucking show. I'm so tired of it. What are you, an ICE piece of shit? What are you, an ICE piece of shit? What are you, an ICE piece of... That's how stupid they are. They're retarded. And you guys, if you want a civil war, you're going to get it. These fucking ICE guys are risking their lives to make your place safer. And then you get scum who doesn't even belong here fighting them. Do you hear her screaming her stupid Spanish?
What the hell's wrong with you? Look like a Puerto Rican whore.
Oh, she was Mexican. Learn the difference, fella. Espérate. Fuck you. Yeah, exactly. You get no rights. That's how it works. Citizens of the country get constitutional rights. And then the left will bring up some fucking horse shit where they twist that into... Doesn't matter. That's called action. Can you imagine that Biden let in, I don't know, close to 20 mil or whatever? That's what they're saying. And they kept saying the border's fine, and then Trump comes in and shuts it down in a half hour. Speaking of big DJT, the big Trump-Putin summit was over the weekend in Alaska. I'll show you a clip to prove that Putin was here, but here's the fucking great thing. When we show you this clip of him just arriving at the airport, listen overhead to what you hear. Watch Trump pretend he's like surprised. He's going. He just... Okay. He grabs Putin by the arm and goes, do you see that? You got a lot more where those came from. A lot more. Beautiful. Look at those. Go ahead, let it fly. I like to look at those. Those things are scary looking. Giant bats. So Trump's... That's called a show of strength, folks. That was all choreographed beautifully. And then they come up here, and Trump's like, look, man, I'm almost 8 inches taller than you. Let's face it. Your country's a gas station. That's all it is, with weapons. Russia's Vladimir Putin agreed at his summit with President Donald Trump to allow the United States and its European allies to offer Ukraine a security guarantee resembling NATO's collective defense mandate as part of an eventual deal to end the 3.5-year war in Ukraine, Special U.S. Envoy Steve Witkoff said on Sunday. And a possible peace treaty is on the table. This guy is one of ours, and he sure looks like a Russian, doesn't he? So, yes, they went in there, again, talking about a ceasefire. And things Trump said were going so good with the meeting, but he always says that, that they got onto a possible peace negotiation, which is, permanent, with other countries agreeing, NATO gets involved and all that shit. Anyways, Marco Rubio, who I call Michael Corleone, he's the quiet brother in the family, went in the military, came out, now he's the head of the family. I love this guy. I've always liked Rubio, even when he pushed back a little against Trump, but that was during the debates and shit. He had to do what he did. But obviously Trump noticed how smart he was. He's the Secretary of State, right? Anyways, here he is on Meet the Press, and I love they send him out there. Because of all the people on Trump's team, he takes the less shit from media. Yeah. Him and J.D. Vance, they'll tell you to go fuck yourself right on TV. This stupid broad for NBC News is going to come at him with that typical narrative, and he's going to tell her she's wrong.
The meeting with President Putin on Friday, President Trump said he wanted a ceasefire agreement. Now he is saying he wants a broader peace deal. We know that Ukraine, we know that European allies want a ceasefire first. Is a ceasefire now off the table, Mr. Secretary?
You see how she fucking... You think she'd be going, that's real progress, it sounds like, that he's made. Yeah. But no, he wanted a ceasefire. Now he doesn't. I mean, what's he doing? That's like the tone, and it's not lost on fucking Michael Corleone.
Harry?
No, it's not off the table. I think what the president said, in fact, you just read it on the air a few moments ago, it was agreed to by all that the best way to end this conflict is through a full peace deal. There's no doubt about that. I mean, who would be against the fact if tomorrow we came to you and said we have a full peace deal and it's done? I think that's the best way to end the war. Now, whether there needs to be a ceasefire on the way there, well, we've advocated for that. Unfortunately, the Russians, as of now, have not agreed to that. But the ideal here, what we're aiming for here is not a ceasefire. What we ultimately are aiming for is an end to this war.
And then he said this.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Trump was on piano in the background while he said it. We were able to win the following concession, that the United States could offer Article 5-like protection, which is one of the real reasons why Ukraine wants to be in NATO, he told CNN's State of the Union. He added that it was the first time we had ever heard the Russians agree to that and called them game-changing. Yeah, no, exactly. They don't even bring that up.
Hey, everybody, we're all
Trump is excited.
Late.
Article 5, if you guys don't know what that is, it comes right after Article 4 and right before 6. Article 5 at the heart of the 32-member military. I even knew what it was before they explained it in the article. Military alliance states that an armed attack against one or more of the members of NATO shall be considered an attack against all members. That's been around forever. Witkoff also said Russia had agreed to enact a law. This surprised me, that it would not, and I quote, go after any other European countries and violate their sovereignty. And there was plenty more. Now, when I hear that, I'm thinking, yeah, that came out of a killer dictator's mouth. In the back of his head, he's going, these are just words. I'll do whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? I really feel like that. Remember, this is a guy who has journalists killed. It is important that America, which I wish Trump would actually copy that. You know, you listen to the left, you think that's CNN, what we got, MSNBC, which is so every other day you'd go, oh, dictators always invite the other side of the Hyatt in New York into the White House. You know, yeah, I'm all for that shit. It is important that America agrees to work with Europe to provide security guarantees for Ukraine. My grandmother's whole family, but there are no details in Italy how it'll work and what Americans' role will be. Again. It is important that America, we need a benign dictator, which is you know, you listen to the left, you think that's what we got, a dictator, which is so fucking silly. Yeah, dictators always invite the other side on into the White House, you know. Yeah. It is important that America agrees to work with Europe to provide security guarantees for Ukraine, he said. But there are no details how it'll work and what Americans' role will be. Again, the fucking New York Post has this tone all of a sudden. It's lurching left. Well, they do it gradually, but it's making me sick when I read the paper. And what America's role will be, Europe's role will be, and what the European Union can do. And this is our main task. We need security to work in practice like Article 5 of NATO, and we consider European Union accession to be part of the security guarantees. Witkoff defended Trump's decision to abandon his push that Russia agreed to an immediate ceasefire, which Trump had set as a benchmark going into the meeting. But it went better than Witkoff said the Republican president had pivoted towards a peace deal because so much progress was being made. That's why it worries me. You know, yeah, Putin's the type of guy who'll do, you know, he's put a nice face on for the rest of the, but when it comes down to brass tacks, you know what he's all about. Rubio, he probably came over just to get a look at those planes flying overhead. Rubio, who appeared on 3 Sunday news shows, thank God, he said I had cocaine in my pocket. I was exhausted. I was out. Said there was not going to be any kind of truce reached because Ukraine was not at the summit. Now, ultimately, if there isn't a peace agreement, if there isn't an end of this war, the president's been clear, this is Rubio talk, there are going to be consequences. He said that on ABC's This Week. But we're trying to avoid that, Mr. Rubio said. And if you want to friggin' see, he was on, I think, Margaret Brennan is what, CBS? Yeah, I think she's CBS. Watch that clip. He's fucking on. He called it the narrative stupid, basically called her stupid. I fucking love him. He just doesn't put up with shit. Anyways, so all the people in all the countries in the European Union, you know, they're like, yeah, let's hear what he's got to say, you know, because they'll get hit first if the shit goes down. So they're very interested. And that's why they ponied up their 5%. I hope he marks it up to 10 next year. Seriously, it's all back pay. Yeah, cheating prickies. Let's move on to, folks, I don't know how much time I'm going to spend. That might be the rest of the show. It fascinated me so much. I stumbled over a clip. The headline's Comey lost his mind. Not that he ever had one. But he put out this clip this weekend talking about how much Taylor Swift means to him and his family and how he can relate to her. He knows her songs. And this guy was the head of the FBI. Might as well have been licking balls. So and then his hatred for Trump comes in, and not just Trump, us, people who like Trump, calling us jerks, I believe. Comey revealed in a bizarre video Sunday that he has a new coping mechanism to deal with the bad blood he has with President Trump, listening to pop icon Taylor Swift and trying to follow her wisdom. That should put a shiver up your asshole. The former FBI agent, who was just the FBI agent recently, listens to how old is she? 20? Early 20s pop star. That's where he's getting his wisdom. As Bill Hicks said, when do we start listening to prepubescent white girls talking about music? Anyways, the self-styled Swiftie explained that he struggled with the antics of the Democrats like California Governor Gavin Newsom, who punched back hard at Trump, and concluded that he likes Swift's softer approach better. Let's listen to this psycho. This fucking made me get shivers, man. Go ahead, silly.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my Substack. Last week's cold turns out to have been COVID, quite a flashback. And Donald Trump is still president and still humiliating America on a national stage, standing next to Vladimir Putin. It's like a dream, a bad dream you can't wake up from.
Pause. Oh, well, remember what did he find on the beach? Seashells? It's 87, 40, whatever. 86, I said 87. 86, 47, remember that? And he said, no, that was like just coincidental. You hear the hate on he has for Trump still? Of course he did. Because Trump exposed this piece of shit for what he is, a Northeast liberal cocksucker. Excuse my language. If you don't like it, grow up. Go ahead, silly.
But I don't want to talk about that bad dream this week. I want to talk about a truly inspirational public figure named Taylor Swift.
Pause. Taylor Swift. I mean, even if he said Hakeem Jeffries, that would have been better. Or Jerry Nadler. Or Joy Behar. Go ahead, silly.
Of course, I watched her podcast interview with the Kelsey brothers.
Of course.
Of course, I watched the whole thing, although on YouTube, Patrice and I got kicked off for the last 15 minutes and finished it on her phone. But I watched it.
Too much information.
You see, Taylor Swift and I go way back. I went to my first concert of hers 15 years ago.
Pause. He's like, I finger popped her in a cab when I was in New York in 2011.
I've been to a second, and I have helped financially support the attendance of a lot of family members at others. I'm in a family's
In other words,
Swiftie
I
group
bought
chat.
tickets. He's in a Swiftie
I know
group
all her
chat.
music, and I listen to it in my headphones when I cut the grass. So yes, I have
Pause.
a favorite.
What did he say? I missed that the first time. He listens in his headphones when he cuts the grass. You don't have the young colored kid doing that anymore for $1? You piece of shit.
You're so stupid. You're so stupid. So fucking stupid.
Go ahead.
Favorite of hers, although honestly for me it's a tie between All Too Well, 10-minute version, and Exile featuring Bon Iver. Taylor Swift has grown up with my family.
Fuck you, Casey Kasem.
And provided us a soundtrack, really, as we've grown ourselves and learned and adapted and dealt with adversity and celebration. She had songs for all of it. I suspect that's something that millions of Americans have also experienced in their families.
Oh my God.
I think that's because Taylor Swift produces great art, but also because she models something. At every stage of her career, she's shown a certain way of being that resonated with my kids and also felt right to me as a parent. And she's still doing that as a grown-up. Like a lot of you, I struggle with how to stand up to bullies without letting their...
What's my theory about when grown men or adults, even women, start talking about using the word bullies? He's still in 6th grade getting the shit kicked out of him. Adults that use that. Trump's a bully. You're a pussy. I'm for the bullies. I want to do a pro-bully campaign. And I'll say it again. I was a bit of a bully, surprise, and I get fucking bullied by guys bigger than me. But for a guy, this guy was an FBI director a few years ago. Are you listening to this? You dinks. Oh my God. Go ahead, silly.
Meanness infect me and change me.
Trump's meanness.
You may have seen that the governor of California has been generating a lot of attention
Now he's
lately
gotta try
by
to
posting on social
balance
media
it.
in a satirical way where he mocks Donald Trump and his all caps megalomania and his absurdity. And I find it very funny. Hilarious.
You do? I find it bullying. All caps is bullying, I heard, from pussies like you who like Taylor Swift. You find it funny, do you? Gavin Newsom's funny. You don't find him a ship-shaker and the fucking devil incarnate? Go ahead, dinkweed.
Even sometimes. But I got to be honest, it also leaves me with a strange feeling at times because I don't want us to become like Trump and his followers.
Pause. Listen to how he talks about us. That's the difference. Trump will point out assholes on the other side in the media and actual politicians. He doesn't go after Democrat voters. Doesn't throw them in a whole group. Does this not send chills up your spine? He's watching what we're watching take part every day. Inflation low, 19 peace deals he did in 5 minutes, shut the border, all the shit. And you think America doesn't like that? I swear to God, the Northeast, there's a type of liberalism that I can't even explain. That. Well, it's not just North. Any fucking progressive today is a wacko. Go ahead.
There are far more decent, honest, kind people in America than there are mean jerks.
Talking about Trump supporter.
And don't get me wrong, we have our jerks, millions of them. You may have noticed.
Yeah, you're one of them.
In particular, there's a stunning coarseness and ugliness in the Republican Party today.
You pompous, stuck-up, snot-nosed, English giant twerp, scumbag, fuckface, dickhead, asshole.
You couldn't hate him enough. A little bit more. I'm going to try to make you guys throw up.
It's upsetting, but it's also a minority of America. On the whole, we aren't like that.
Pause. You just said it's upsetting, but it's a minority of America that thinks like that? Did you not see the results of the last presidential election? Trump got the most votes ever by a Republican president, won the electoral, won the popular, but we're the minority? That means you guys are in the wrong fucking country. Why don't you leave now? Take your stupid kids with you. How do they, honest to God, it's fucking creepy to me. Anyways, a little bit more scumbag.
And we don't like that. I think that's a big part of the reason so few Americans...
Do you hear what he just said? We're mean jerks and bullies or whatever, but we don't like that, meaning Democrats. You don't? I just showed clips of fucking ICE guys being attacked. One of them got hit with a sandwich a couple days ago, as we showed. Not to remember, president got shot in the face. You're fucking psychotic, dude.
And 4 years of all the COVID nightmare, all the canceling, all the other shit.
Russiagate, all that shit. All been proven bullshit. Why would we ever trust you? You guys, you don't even have a party right now. That's the fucking truth of it. A little more from Dinkweed.
Americans support Donald Trump when they have to see him and that up close. And why Republicans are so worried about what's coming for them next year.
They are?
And to be clear, I am not an advocate for weakness. Of course we need to stand up to jerks and defend.
That's it. Oh, I hope he has a colonoscopy and they find a fucking pound of cancer. Stage 11, right in his ass pipe. Fuck you and everything you believe in, and your wife. Never even met her. Boys and girls, I'll be touring again next month. I'm like Elvis. I'm in my late hundreds, and I'll die in the toilet at a La Quinta Inn in Nashville. September 18th, Hyenas in Dallas, Texas. That's a Thursday night. Then the next two nights, 19th and 20th of September, Wise Guys, Salt Lake City, Utah. And then after that, I put on my white jumper and eat pancake sandwiches. October 3rd, Arlington Draft House, Arlington, Virginia. And then October 16th, Zanies, in Nashville, Tennessee, who might have a baseball team by then. I don't know if you read, they're thinking about expanding, because they haven't since the Rays and the Diamondbacks. Back in 97, I think it was. Baseball's talking about realigning and doing all that. I don't give a shit. I complained when they were going to do a college football. I loved it, so I was wrong. Anyways. And go to the thing, the merchandise page. I knitted all these hats and sweaters for you guys. I was up for 2 days. Nothing but blow and riddling. Look at this. Look what I turned out. All right. That's it.
Hi. Good night, everybody.